Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to get wide top-end air on female vocals. We're going to be looking at getting that pretty top-end air on female vocals today, but before we dive in, if you are ready to go a little bit deeper into the vocal mixing process and really start dialing in your EQ strategy, then I have just the thing for you. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through how to EQ your vocals step by step to help you get polished and professional sounding vocal mixes without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and take a look at this vocal here. I'm going to play you the vocal as it sits inside this track here. It's just a vocal piano mix here. You can hear our finished vocal for this track so far. And then we're going to talk about expanding that top end air, getting a little bit more from this vocal to add some extra prettiness to it, right? So here's our vocal so far in this track.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. When we've been there 10,000 years.
So you can hear it's a big, full voice sitting over quite a big piano sound as well. But I wanted to add some extra top end air to this vocal sound because she's already pushing a lot of air. She's got a huge range here, a huge voice. I want to add some of that top end to it. She's got big low end, big powerful voice. I want it to be pretty on the top end as well. So what we're going to do, you can see we're mixing on the bus here. So I'm going to add a bus channel, and we're going to call it Vox High. We'll color it white because our effects are white. We'll send it back to our mix bus here, or our mix A. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send from our lead vocal into this Vox High here. So we're sending our finished vocal sound over into another bus here. So we have just a copy of our vocal sound so far.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as...
What we're going to do first, we want to get that top end, right? Our vocal's lacking a little bit of that pretty air on the top end. So what we're going to do is we're going to go after that. Our first thing we're going to add here is an EQ, and I'm going to try and isolate just the top end that I want to emphasize here. So I'm going to use a high pass filter.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. When we've been there 10,000.
I think I'm going to go with 24 dB octaves per slope there. And we've got 4.5K is where we left our high pass filter. You can hear now it's just that top end, about 5K and above on our vocal here. So the next thing I'm going to pull in on this bus is the multiband, and I'm going to do some de-essing on the top of it. So I'm going to pull up my de-esser setting. You can see it's just 4K and above here on the de-esser setting. So in a sense, we're just compressing this track here because all we're doing is compressing the top end, but that's all we have left on this vocal. So just going to control this vocal now. So now we've controlled that top end. So we're technically just compressing it, right? Because that's all we have here with this vocal. The next thing I think I want to do is add some saturation to this and maybe try and smooth it out. So I'm going to pull in the soft tube tape machine here on this bus. So following our multiband here, we're doing isolate that top end, then controlling that top end, in a sense compressing it because that's all we have left. And now we're going to pull in this tape machine here to emphasize, not emphasize, to smooth out that top end. So we're going to mess with the couple types here and see what we can get, and we'll push the amount as well. Pretty quickly figured out I like the C setting, and I like it on 15 IPS here for the tape speed. The C setting felt like it was more of just the top end. The A felt too balanced to me, and the B felt like it was trying to emphasize something that's not left, which is the low end there. 15 IPS felt more focused to me on the vocal. It felt like it brought the vocal forward, whereas 30 IPS felt like it set the vocal back a little bit more. And then I pushed it up on the amount, so we're sitting between the 10 and 5 here on the meter. To me, that feels like it's smoothing the vocal out. Now, let's go a step further smoothing our vocal and maybe add some width in the process. So I'm going to pull in a chorus plugin here, and let's mess with this, see if we can maybe widen our vocal and smooth it out some more. So I found a setting that I like. We're at about 4.8 here on the delay. Put the stereo width all the way out. Now we're going to mix this back in and set it where we want it on this vocal. I'm digging that right there around 64%. We get a little bit of that width, and it's smoothing out the vocal without it being overbearing and just drenching the vocal, the top end and chorus there. I'm going to add maybe one more de-esser here. So I'll actually just copy down the de-esser setting that we're using above here and see if we can even it out. So pulled in an EQ afterwards now and added some of the super highs here. So we're up at 15K and added about 6 dB of that. I tried another EQ as well. It didn't feel as gentle. It felt more aggressive than just the Pro EQ here. So quick review here before we mix this in. Isolating our top end, compressing it with a deesser here, so just the top end, adding some saturation with a tape machine here, just pushing it between the 10 and 5 on the C setting, smoothing it out, and then again smoothing it out even more with the chorus here, and giving it some width with our chorus as well. One more level of de-essing or compression here just to keep it in place, and then using our last EQ to boost some of the super highs and add that really top end air up at 15K. So now we're going to pull this down. We're going to mix this in our track here underneath our vocal.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright as the sun. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining.
You can start to hear that extra air coming in on some of those notes, especially those notes she's holding. We kick that in, you get that level of brightness and that shine, that crispness up on the top end. I want to go to this softer section here and hear what it's doing for the vocal in this section.
Save this far, and grace will lead me home.
Really pretty. So listen one more time here on this softer section, and I'll A-B and even exaggerate this Vox high track. Listen to that breath and that air it's adding to our vocal track here before I click off of it. Here we go.
This far, and grace will lead me home. Will lead me home. When we
So if you need more top end on a female vocal, you're trying to get that air, duplicate your vocal track or send it out to another bus, isolate that top end, make sure you control it, and then add some type of saturation and some chorus to smooth it out, maybe give it a little bit of width, any extra controlling you want to do, and then make sure you're emphasizing that pretty top end air that you want to bring up under your vocal. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are ready to level up your vocal mixes and really perfect your EQ strategy, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and you can download it below by clicking the link in the video description to start creating more professional vocal mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.